Hello everyone, this is Parth, one of your directors at UPAW for the Internal Outreach Committee. Today, we're going to be going through our Pre-Req Check event. This is an event where I'll be giving you guys a walkthrough on how to be able to access courses that you will need for getting into your honor spec or your major modules. Specifically, we'll be keeping in touch with pathology for now. I guess a little bit about me. Of course, I'm Parth Patel. I'm one of the directors at UPAW. I'm in my fourth year, and I'm not actually in a pathology module. I'm actually in physiology. However, I was in your shoes at one time. I was frantically going through all the websites to make sure that I met all the requirements for getting into my module. So I do have quite some experience with that. And I think that if I had had a resource like this that kind of guided me through exactly how to access those required courses and that information, that it would have been very beneficial. And so we hope that this video will be beneficial to you guys as well. So what exactly will I cover today? So I specifically will be covering the honor spec modules in pathology and OneHealth. So the honor spec in pathology, honor spec in OneHealth, and as well as their respective majors. So the major in Path and major in OneHealth. My other director, Christina, will be covering some other pathology modules, specifically with honor specializations. So please make sure to check out her video as well to get more information on that. So let's get right into the walkthrough. So we'll make our way to our Google tab. I will be covering the honor specialization modules first, just because they're a little bit tricky in the sense that obviously you need to meet those course requirements, but there's also the average requirements that you need to meet. So I'll be going through both of those. So I'll start first with the course requirements. So in Google, you're going to type in honors spec in pathology, multi requirements. And so this will bring you to the page, and the first link will be really helpful. It's a PDF. So if you click on that, this will bring you to a fillable PDF form. So it's a worksheet. It's actually a tool that the MedSci coordinators had created for people to use. And again, obviously it's just a tool, but I find it really helpful, and I think you guys would as well. It lists out exactly the courses that you would need. So you have your biochems, biology, each of your second year courses, right? They're fillable, so you can edit them as you wish. And then they also have these drop-down menus, so you're not confused on like, do you need both of these courses or just one, because you know how to meet them based on these drop-down menus that exists over here as well. They have these combinations as well, so you're not confused on, which courses, combined with which. And overall, you can use these sheets to, send them over to the BMSUE coordinators. However, this only works and will only be reviewed if you are in your fourth year. So if you're not, you can still use these sheets, as I think they're really helpful because of the hyperlinks that they have. So this is a good overview just if you want to kind of interact with your courses and have a visual of that. But if we're trying to get more towards the official academic calendar, you can use this hyperlink right here. So if you just hit Control click, it'll open a new window. I'll go here. This brings out the academic calendar and labels out all of your admission requirements for the honor spec in pathology. So you have your first year requirements here. Any exceptions or sort of special notes are listed as well. And then you also have, of course, the minimum marks that you need in each of those courses. You have your second year courses. And then this is kind of the overall module requirements. And you'll probably notice that they're the same ones as here, right? So you have those 11 courses, and if you actually scan them side by side, you'll realize that they are the exact same courses. So there's kind of two places you can check for that. And more importantly, for the honor specialization modules in particular, they have average requirements that you need to meet. So to get to that page, that PDF, which is also very, very helpful, you just want to go to Google again, type in MedSci, honor specialization, honor spec. And then you want to go again, it's another PDF. So these are very helpful. And it looks very daunting at first. And I would agree with you. I think when I saw this page first, I was very scared. But if we kind of take it step by step, I think that it's manageable. So the first thing I want to do is kind of split this page into split this Excel sheet into halves, right? So you have your left kind of half and your right half. If we look down here with Path, this is the Path HSP. and it kind of labels out the maximum capacity, so how many people they take in the module, the minimum averages for that module, and then whether it was full or not full. And then this plus, I believe, means that it was filled with students in MedSci 2 only, right? So generally, if you have full, this means that there might have been some people who didn't progress. So they didn't come from MedSci, but from other modules like Bio, for example, or Gen Sci, right? But full plus just means that all of this whole module was just filled with students who were already in MedSci. And you have these big arrows that they'll point to required courses that you'll need. So these averages are calculated based on some of the required courses, those second year courses here. So if you click on this link, and if you scroll down a little bit, you have this weighted average chart. And so if you are looking for pathology, this weighted average chart essentially just lists out the required courses that you'll need for your respective module and how the average is calculated, right? So if I go down to pathology, pathology has 2.5 courses that they've labeled here. And for third year, these are your third year courses, by the way. So you would need these when you apply for third year. And so that's how they got that 89. So that 89%, so the last individual that got in from the 20 had an 89% average, and this was in these courses. So he had an 89 average in these 2.5 courses. And so you can see if you follow through, right? So this was just year 3 of this year. So these are the third years of this academic year. But you can also compare those to previous years to see trends if you're interested in that. So the year before, the minimum average that you needed, right? The last person that got into pathology had an 88.2 average. For the year before that, we have an 86.8, and the year before, a 91. So that's sort of this half of the sheet. If we're looking at sort of the right half of this Excel sheet, I guess, you'll notice that you have a year 4 column now. So this is for individuals that are already in their third year and are progressing or want to progress into year 4 for the next year. So for admission into year 4 of pathology, right, you would need a minimum of 90 this year to have been in pathology, right? And so they also have other courses you have to take in your third year, right? If you're in your first and second year, you don't have to worry about this right now, but I just want to make sure that I cover all my bases with the third and fourth years if they're watching this. So again, if we scroll down on our weighted average chart, which by the way is the same, so technically you don't need to open that second link, you can just stick on the one. So that's what I'll do, just for simplicity's sake. These are your courses that you'll need. So you need 4.0 courses, and they're all listed right here. The really helpful thing that I like about this page is that these hyperlinks take you directly to the pages, so you can get kind of an introduction on what the course entails, the respective weight, any prereqs or anti-requisites that you would need as well. And it goes for every course, by the way. So I think that's really helpful. And so going back to the modular, the weighted average chart, right? The courses that you take, like your third year courses, these contribute for 2/3 of your average. So that is this average. 2/3 of your average is weighted for the courses that are usually third year and above, and then 1/3 of the weight for your average that they calculate will be from your second year courses. So that's how they come up with this number here. So you can, realistically get away with if, you didn't perform as well in your second year, but you did really well in your third year courses for your module, then you could still stay in Path. And again, the status still follows, right? So you have full, not full for that specific year. So this academic year. And then for past years, you can look at trends. So those are already here as well. And it follows the same pattern as it did for admission into the HSP modules in your third year of medical sciences. So again, very helpful. This academic calendar is very helpful, and you can access it anytime by going through these links, and they have these big arrows to tell you exactly where to go. So that was the HSP pathology. Those are the required courses that we looked at. You can also alternatively, if you don't want to, look at this, you could kind of go here if you control click. This also, again, it gave you the same information, right? So we'll close that, and we'll go to the honor spec in OneHealth now. So I'll just change this from pathology to OneHealth. Oops. And again, it's going to be a nice PDF. We like those, of course. Fillable PDF, so you can, write your name out. If you're in a fourth year, then you can, fill this out entirely and then send it to a BMSUE coordinator to make sure if you're meeting those requirements for graduation and for your module, of course. And most importantly for us, we want to see all those courses for our first and second year. So we'll control click on this link, open here, and you have all your courses. Again, it's the same format. So you have your admissions your admission requirements for your first year, right? So if you're in med-sci or if you're not in med-sci, I guess you can check out all these courses that you need to take to make sure that you progress into further years. Then you have your second year requirements. Again, the marks are attached to, right? So you have your courses, the mark you would need to maintain each of the courses. Same thing applies for your second year courses as well. And then the full list is all down here. And again, if you kind of cross-reference, you would notice that they're the exact same. All right. And so this follows the same, because this is an honor specialization module. It also has those minimum averages that you need to meet to be able to get admission into that module. So luckily OneHealth is right above pathology, and it follows the exact same format that I explained earlier, right? You have your minimum averages for the cohort that got in this year, whether it was full or not, and what was it filled by, and then the trends that you can analyze, right? So if we go again, I'll just go to this link. I guess we can close this. If we go here, which by the way, if you click here, it will bring you to the same link. So just for clarity. If we go to OneHealth, I'm just gonna find that right here. So these are your courses that you need for OneHealth, right, in your second year, and these are your courses that you need in your fourth year. And again, the respective hyperlinks are there, so you can explore what these courses are if you're interested, if you want to take them, things like that. And then the averages again listed out here. So these are for your third years, right? So that's why they say year 3 at the top, and then for your fourth year, so people wanting to gain admission into their fourth year. And so that's also listed right here. So ideally, if you're aiming for these honor specialization modules, you would want to shoot for an average that's higher than whatever the minimum average was for the past year. Because although, they do fluctuate, right? So sometimes, it could drop, but sometimes it can increase. So you don't really know, and you want to just make sure that you're ideally above it. But you never know what can happen. It just depends on the cohort and, what people are interested in that for your specific batch of students, and what everybody's grades were during those times. So that's the OneHealth and the pathology honor specialization modules. So the next thing that I'll cover would be the majors in each of those modules. So major in pathology and then major in OneHealth. These don't require this document anymore because, again, those aren't based on competitiveness. Anyone can be in a major, so they have unlimited spots for those. So we can close this here. We close this as well. We'll go back. And now for the majors, major in pathology, that's UO. You don't have to add the UO. It's in case sometimes, I think most of my results are catered towards UO results, but if they're not, then you can add that subscript. And in this case, you want to go for the second PDF. I'm a huge fan of these PDFs. And one thing to note that's very important is that, again, this is for the double majors. So these courses are not listed for just the major and path. It's also if you're doing a double major. So that's another thing that BMSE offers. But again, that's not relevant just for now. We are more interested in the major in pathology. So you can click that, and it'll bring you to the academic calendar for the major in pathology. And you have, again, your admission requirements. You have your first year courses, marks, second year courses, marks, and of course the overall kind of courses that you need to get a major in pathology. Unfortunately, there's no checklist, so that checklist that we were in here, it's for a double major, so it's not entirely accurate. You don't want to use that, but all the courses are listed here, and any minimum marks they would have, right? And then helpful hyperlinks, so you can just explore here as well. And that's the major for pathology. the last thing that I wanted to cover was the major in OneHealth. So I'll just replace this with OneHealth. Sorry, these first links they're just kind of landing pages. So if you wanted to learn more about the actual module itself, you can check these out. And they have their courses, right? What are the courses about? So you can learn more. There's some prereqs and stuff, extra information if you're interested. But again, the main resource that I like are these documents, and realistically, I could guide you through the actual like academic calendar itself. So going on like the MedSci page, and then like trying to find that academic calendar that I pull up by like clicking these hyperlinks. But I find that it's much more easy to just find these quick sheets, right? These fillable PDFs, and then just find the major through this, right? So this one again is a double major. You can apply or not apply. You can ignore this, but you are more interested in the major in OneHealth. You would click that, and it brings you here. And again, it has all of these admission requirements. You can kind of graze over this if you're interested, but the main thing that we're interested in here are the admission requirements. So you have your first year courses, grades, second year courses, grades. And then again, these are sort of lists that they have for courses for people that are doing double majors. So a double major, that's going to be more complicated and it's not covered in this video. That's something that you should probably reach out to your academic counselor if that's what you're interested in, or some other resource. So for now, we can ignore like the kind of notes about double majors. Just for the major, you would kind of reference like right here. This is what will get you the major in OneHealth specifically. And all the courses, of course, the quick links are there like always. So that's everything from my end. I hope this was helpful. I know that if I had been exposed to this when I was actually searching for these courses back when I was applying for an ITR, it would have been very helpful. So again, this is just a guide, so make sure that you do check in with your academic counselor. If you need more help, reach out to somebody else. And also make sure to check out my other director's video, Christina. She's going to be covering more of the other pathology modules that exist with the honor specializations. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were, but again, that's more of a reason for you to watch that video. So I hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.